August the 1st. That is deadline day in the BCAT. The BCAT, a drug counselling service in Braytown and environs. It offers a drop-in service for the homeless too. The deadline day advised on the notice on the drop-in wall that the morning service between 10 a.m. up to 12 midday from Monday to Friday is to be shelved permanently. They have attached a half hour to the evening session from 2 to 4:30 p.m. now. But this is only going one way. They will eventually and lead to cancelling the Saturday drop-in. Then the evening sessions will be reduced down to 2 days. Then it will be reduced to 1. They won't get rid of the one evening drop-in as it looks good in the BCAT Services propaganda website. And they can use it as leverage for funding. This has been done for the sake of the staff and not the service users. Think about this. The BCAT is a state-funded agency there to serve and help the drug addict community in Bray. Many of them are on the streets, full-time if not most of the time. They need a drop-in to semi-function in this life. Then you have the homeless in danger of going on to hard drugs and need a service for to keep their heads above water. Agencies like the BCAT are finding it hard to recruit people to work with them that have even a pulse. They are just getting the scrapings of the barrel of the universities. Wannabe members of the bourgeois who want the prestige of education and profession, the money for the house and car, the entitlement that so many of the bourgeois have of the dots and to do the job by numbers. Their mentality is, it is not what we can do for the service users, but what can they do for us? No worry or concern for the service users, just a sanitised, controlled work environment. Imagination and vision are just an abstract idea that push in a report. The BCAT is symptomatic of how the addict and homeless and street communities are being let down throughout Ireland. You have to laugh how the politicians and their supporters believe all the self-praised lies from agencies like the BCAT. The education system has created a generation of educated fools whose credulity is seriously questioned. Of course, the BCAT like to go by the law and social care protocols and therefore will welcome addicts from all backgrounds, including non-citizens and undocumented, I assume, and refugees, I assume again, and sex offenders, I know they welcome them in unquestionably. Of course, this means in recent months it is becoming top-heavy with Roma, Gypsy, community, and is very much going in that direction. In agencies like the BCAT, you can get a lot of hidden racism and sectarianism among the staff. They could, in their mind, control the travellers, but not the gypsies. They are another matter. Their answer is to reduce the hours and differ interaction with the Roma. Of course, everyone suffers. Again, I reiterate, there will be huge antipathy to the travelling community by the staff of agencies like the BCAT. They may say different, but the swan horse paddles like hell underneath the water. Of course, the BCAT would say, come on in and let's talk about it. A meaningless discussion would envelop, and at the end of the meeting you would hear the catchphrase, we hear you. Then they promise to pass on your concerns to the BOM, Board of Management, but nothing is done. In other words, there is no point having a meeting unless you are in a position to cause carnage for the BCAT in the first place, by putting pressure on the Department of Health by seriously review their activities. I reaffirm my and our need to have a serious change in direction in how we deal with addiction and drugs and addicts on this island. It will have to be us, the people, who have to instigate and push this direction and not the parasites in the drug counselling and official drug addiction industry. I will not take advice from people who clock in and clock out and spend the day trying to find their heart and failing again and again. The management told me previously there was no problem raising money and getting staff. But now they have counteracted this assertion by using these excuses to reduce hours. First they came for the street people, then they came for the mentally ill, then they came for the junkies, then they came for the undocumented workers, then they came for the welfare recipient, then they came for the low-income workers, then they came for the self-employed workers, then they came for the wannabe middle-class worker. Then they came for the pensioners. Then they came for the bourgeois worker. Yes, they finally came to you. But being bourgeois, you stupidly will keep voting for the muppets who are making you suffer. You can have nothing but the moniker of being bourgeois hanging around your neck. But those are the only vapours you need to keep you alive. Which just proves that Irish bourgeois are the most mentally deranged middle class in the universe. Note this. I am the only one publicly calling this out of all the service users. The vast majority of service users will just roll over. If you do not stand up to the staff will just walk all over you. This is especially true where you are dealing with vulnerable people, with many of them with psychiatric challenges of some kind. But when you look at broader society, how many complain for to bring about improvements for others? True, many will complain if their nose is put out of joint, but that's selfishness, not altruism. Thank you and consider subscribing.